This happened to me when I was 16 years old. At the time, I worked part-time at a small clothing store inside a mall. It was Halloween night, and every year, the mall stayed open late for families trick-or-treating between the stores. By 9:30 p.m., most of the families had already cleared out, and the mall started getting quieter. Still decorated, still filled with orange lights and fake cobwebs, but the energy had dropped into something that felt a lot less festive and a lot more eerie. I was closing alone that night. My manager left early, and the other employee had called out, so I was responsible for cleaning up, counting the register, and locking the store. Around 10:05 p.m., as I was folding clothes near the entrance, I noticed a man standing just outside the store. He wore a dirty pumpkin mask. Not the usual plastic kind. It looked homemade, with rough stitching and holes cut out unevenly. He didn't say a word. He just stood there, facing me. I said, "Sorry, we're closed," and reached to pull the gate down. But he took one slow step forward, then another. I locked the gate quickly and stepped back. He leaned against the metal grate, placing his head sideways between the bars like he was trying to look around inside the store. I told him again that we were closed, louder this time. Still, no response. He walked away, but not fully. He stepped just far enough to be out of view, though I could still hear his shoes scrape the floor. I froze. I didn't want to finish closing the store with him lingering outside. I called mall security and told them someone was acting strange near my store. The guard on duty said he'd be there in a few minutes. While waiting, I kept hearing footsteps, slow ones, pacing back and forth in front of the entrance. When the guard finally arrived, he didn't see anyone. He checked down the hall, around the corner, even the bathrooms. Nothing. I finished closing and left, with the guard walking beside me. We made it near the employee exit when we noticed something on the floor. It was the same pumpkin mask, sitting perfectly upright, facing the corridor we had just walked down. The guard radioed it in, but they never found the man who left it there. To this day, I have no idea what his intentions were or why he had been watching me for over 10 minutes in silence. I just know that Halloween hasn't felt the same since. This happened in 2019 when I worked at a seasonal Halloween store inside my local mall. It was only open for 6 weeks every year, and the mall gave us access to the back hallways for storing extra boxes and props. On Halloween night, our store closed at 11 p.m. We had a huge rush earlier, but by closing time, it looked like a tornado had gone through the aisles. My manager asked me to take 2 big boxes to the storage hallway in the back. Usually 2 or 3 employees went together, but everyone was busy cleaning the front of the store. So I went alone. The back hallway behind the mall is nothing like the public area. No decorations, no warm lighting. Just long, empty concrete corridors with pipes on the ceiling and motion-activated lights. Those lights are important. They only turn on if they detect movement. I was halfway down the hallway when the lights in front of me flicked on. I assumed someone else was back there, but as I got closer, the hallway was empty. I kept walking. Every time I reached a section, the next set of lights would turn on, but not the moment I moved. They turned on a few seconds before I got there, like someone was walking ahead of me, always staying just out of sight. I tried to tell myself the sensors were delayed or malfunctioning, but then I heard it, a plastic rustle, like a costume shifting on a hanger. It came from the far end of the hallway, the storage room, the same one I had to go into. I stepped inside and froze. On the floor, right in the middle of the room, was a child-sized skeleton costume, spread out perfectly, as if someone had laid it there on purpose. I put the boxes down and backed away. As I turned around, I heard footsteps somewhere in the hallway. Soft, fast, almost like someone running. I sprinted back to the store. My manager asked what happened, and I told him someone was in the hallway. He checked with mall security. They said the cameras didn't pick up anyone except me. But they did see something strange. The skeleton costume was already lying on the floor minutes before I entered the storage room, and no one had been recorded bringing it in or taking it out. We never got an explanation. The next day, the seasonal store closed for the year. I refused to go back into those hallways again.